Hey y'all, how you doing? And welcome to Thursday night's Invisible No More on the Eclipse Pain Network. I'm Keith Johnson. I am so glad you're here tonight. We have a little something a little different tonight. Earlier this week, I had a conference call with some incredible people, with Dr. Leek, with Katie from Nourish and Thrive, with Jose from Baseball Strong, and State of the Union type of a thing. A call that Dr. Leek really just took a 2x4 and smacked me upside the head with some great love. And Katie was great, and so was Jose. And there's so much passion involved with this network. There's so much patient talk, and not patient talk of bad things about patients, but what can we do better so people can hopefully maybe be a little bit better every day. And I'm really excited about some of the changes that we're going to see coming out. um, Dr. Leek and Jose and Katie, man, they put a lot of stuff into this, and I feel like I'm the slacker of the group, and I probably am, to be honest with you. We know education wise and experience wise, I'm the slacker of the group, but they allowed me to come along to not be you, but to maybe hopefully do my very best to express what it's like to be on the invisible side of the fence versus the care team side of the fence. And we've had some great conversations. I can't tell you how many times Dr. Leek and I have sat down and filmed podcasts or interviews or whatever you want to call it. And out of each one, there have been just certain moments that are, I think, are really important. And so tonight we're going to start something new with Invisible. It's going to be a semi-regular type thing. We're calling it Dr. Dustin and Invisible Greatest Hits. And tonight is volume 1. This is the collector's edition, right? Because it's the very first one. Um, Dr. Leek and I did a podcast talking about just really how tough it can be at times to be an invisible patient, whether it's dealing with medical teams, whether it's dealing with pharmacists, whether it's dealing with our family or friends, or when your hair doesn't want to cooperate. You know, everything that invisible goes through that visibles or normies would never see. And it was an important conversation because it gives us a chance for the medical field to see some of the things they may not see. So I took some of those conversations, and what you're going to see here is like a best of. Not that the whole conversation wasn't important, but I get it. Sometimes sitting for 45 minutes is tough. As a chronic pain patient, it's tough for me. So we've got about 20 minutes plus or minus of some really good bits taken from that one main conversation of how difficult it can be to be a chronic pain patient. My focus of this best of this volume 1 greatest hits is validation, because regardless if you're dealing with mental health struggles or chronic illness or chronic pain, I think you're going to hear some things in here that you're going to relate to. You know, a core belief of Invisible is you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, and you're not alone. And if you feel alone today, right now, by the time you finish this, I guarantee you will realize that you're not alone. There's so many of us invisibles out there, and a lot of us have come together under this umbrella to give tips, give tricks, to share the good, the bad, the ugly, to share what worked and what didn't work, to encourage each other to find ways to be better. And so I hope you get something out of this. At the very least, I hope you get validation. Please hit the like button when you're done. Leave a comment. YouTube likes comments. Dr. Leek likes comments. Save my job. Leave a comment. And let me know what you think about Dr. Dustin and Invisible Greatest Hits, Volume 1. And we'll talk to you guys very soon. I love you. Be safe. I had an attorney share a story where she's adequately being treated with different varieties of therapy and meds and all sorts of stuff, but she occasionally hurts, and she has at times she screamed out in pain at different events, and her family sat her down and said, you need to stop doing that. It's embarrassing to us.
Sure.
And it's ableism at its finest. You have people like, I don't do that. When I hurt, I stubbed my toe last week and I didn't scream out and, and it's ableism is what it is. If I don't have to do that, you don't need to do that.
Right.
And
well, families are the worst. They have no, very little tolerance for, the weak link, so to speak. Yeah.
So when a family comes at another family member and says, you need to control your pain better, normal society people, I know families can be issues. That's not something that happens. But it happens in the pain community.
Sure. Yeah.
Not
every family, I have a lot of patients with very supportive family members to tell their credit, and we need more of that. Yeah. But it can be wearing on someone who especially doesn't have, the insight, the know-how. They're not walking in your shoes, and they see you as someone that should be stronger in their mind. And like I said, they don't have the tolerance for it. And just, come on, why can't you do that? Yeah, you can.
Yeah. And it's sad if you look at the statistics, chronic pain patient ladies, the divorce rate is through the roof because their husbands get tired of dealing with it and get tired of being caretakers.
Yeah.
And the ladies haven't done a damn thing wrong.
Right.
And yet their husbands leave.
Right.
And again, that's not every marriage. It's not in every situation, but statistically it's higher. The divorce rate is higher if you're a chronic pain patient, which is sad.
Yeah.
Which is sad. But we could speak for days on the different things that make it harder on a chronic pain patient. We mask so much because we want to do everything, right? Another example, I was talking with a guy who his kid's car caught on fire, and he was upset, and he's like, I'm their dad. I need to be able to financially help them. He's like, but I'm on disability. I don't have that. He's like, I barely have enough to get my ramen noodles every month and pay rent and electric. I can't help him buy a new car right now.
Yeah.
And basically, certain generations of males were always brought up, you take care of your family no matter what. You go to work. If you cut your leg off, you still go to work.
Absolutely.
And you take care of your family. And when we get into the situation where we're blessed to have disability, when they hand you that first disability check, you're handing them your man card. Because your ability to take care of your family, your ability to have a job, your ability to get the lawn done, like you want to, all of that is gone. So that's another side of being a chronic pain patient that normies just don't get, because you give up all of that when you can't function because your body is hurting, or you have a disease, or you're dealing with a mental health struggle.
I'm glad you brought that up, Keith, because I don't think a lot of people fully understand sort of the behind the scenes impact that a pain patient has in the community, what they're up against, even just in their most intimate relationships, right? Let alone their public relationships. And it's much more than the challenges of just showing up to your doctor's office and being compliant with the plan of care and dealing with all the insurance nonsense and the scheduling nonsense and all the testing that's involved. That's just a small fraction of the whole experience. And that's why I love what you're doing with your group, because it really does, it speaks to a huge need in the community, sort of this national support group, so to speak, where people can come hear the challenges from other people. And that right there might be a huge part of the solution.
It's validating.
It's validation.
Yeah.
And it's education.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't necessarily matter if you have a chronic pain issue or a chronic illness issue or a mental health struggle. We fight the same battles because all of our illnesses all of our diagnoses are invisible.
Yes.
And we've all been quiet for so long.
Right.
And it hasn't done a damn thing.
Right.
So why be quiet anymore?
Well, no, I'm
just my point of view.
I'm right there with you. I mean, now's the time to speak up. Things are not getting any easier. Mm-hmm. And so without that support, without that validation and that momentum for something better, we're all going to get lost in the
Yeah.
dust. When I was doing addiction medicine there for probably 2.5 years, I was treating people who were addicted to opioids. Some prescription strength in this case, a lot of street drugs. I don't think heroin was too popular even back then. It kind of phased out a long time ago. Fentanyl seems to be the main drug of choice, at least on the streets. But they would, be in dire straits, right? They've lost their job. They're losing family members. Their health is spiraling. Their bank account is non-existent, and now they're at the bottom of the road, and they're in my clinic, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the times I would hear the same thing that you described. Well, nobody understands what I'm going through. They think I'm doing this intentionally, and pain and addiction are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah. They both carry stigma.
They both carry stigma, and the experience may be similar on some end as far as the resources that are available to you, the understanding that people may have for you. And so oftentimes I would bring family members in and just kind of get their perspective. Well, I don't understand why he would do this. He had a wife and kids and he just didn't care about them. It's like, okay, let's start at the beginning.
Yeah. Let's back up a little.
It's not quite how this works.
Started before the wife and kids.
Right. And it's sad. And I think the solution lies in what we're doing here today. We're hearing each other's experiences. We're giving each other validation, education, support, and some type of path moving forward. And, it's going to look different for different people, but it's a good place to start. It
is a good place to start. Communication is the key.
Right.
Again, we may not agree, but that's okay.
Exactly.
At least we know where each other is. We understand better where the other person.
Well, and everybody has different perspectives.
Yeah. But if you can understand, then that helps.
Right.
In the long run, I think.
In your experience and from the patients that you hear, what are some of the challenges as it relates to encountering your doctor, going through the system in outpatient pain management?
Starts with diagnosis.
Okay.
And then it moves to if opioids are called for, can you get them?
Right.
And if you're getting them, is it an adequate dosage?
Right.
And then you have to fight the insurance company to cover any type of prescription that you've given.
Sure.
I've had to get pre-authorizations for prednisone before.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
just go pay cash. It's like $4.
Well, but that's a stigma.
It is
to the pharmacy if you pay cash for your meds, right?
Right.
If you don't use insurance, and the hard part's finding the right doctor.
Yeah.
That's the key. You have to really trust your gut, because you may get 10 minutes when you interview a doctor, and you have to make, and if you're, my experience, it took me 3 months. So that's 3 months without any kind of medicine, from gabapentin to an opioid. But I was having to say no when these doctors offered me a script, because my gut was like, this guy, I won't get along with him. So I'd have to walk out the door.
What signs or indications kind of make you sway that way? I mean, not only for my own information, but for patients that could be watching.
I would say when you present your story, you have about 3 minutes, or at least memorize a 3-minute. This is where I'm at. This is what I've done. This is what worked. This is what didn't work. And this is why I'm here. Right. You may not use that in that format, but you'll know that information.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree with this.
So, and present what's wrong, what you've been diagnosed with. Well, number one, I need to back up. Get your medical records. Know what's in them.
Yes.
Right. Don't so you're not surprised.
Yeah. Right.
Then do your 3 or so minute story. Thank you, Dr. Mike. And then present your diagnoses, what you can prove you've been diagnosed with. Present what you've tried, from PT to the different meds, to injections, to steroids, to whatever, included. Then be honest about what worked.
Yes.
And what didn't work.
And why.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then what's the reaction when you say, I've done all this, I'm because you're going to get asked, why are you leaving the current doctor?
Mhm.
Well, the solutions he's offering now involve surgery, and I'm not ready for that yet. I'm wondering, are there other options we can explore before I have surgery? And just be because to me, that's a fair question.
Sure.
And that's why I left. Well, one of the reasons I left my last doctor
Yeah.
was that was the only option he was giving me, and I wasn't ready for that yet.
Yeah.
We hadn't tried acupuncture. We hadn't tried hardly any PT. We hadn't tried gabapentin. We hadn't tried
Wow.
ketamine. We hadn't tried all these different things.
Yeah.
Right. And so I felt just in my gut, maybe there's other things besides surgery right now. And so when I was interviewing these other doctors, I was explaining that to them.
Mm-hmm.
And two of the doctors straight up, well, if he's suggesting a nerve stimulator, then there's nothing I can do because that's obviously what you need. And I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for your time. He's like, well, make sure we schedule on your way out and we can get the test for it done. Yeah, okay. And, right. And another guy was like, well, he's just like, I see what you're saying. He's like, but new patients don't get opioids.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, number one, I didn't ask you for them. I just told you that they've worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody that comes in here wants opioids and we just don't do it.
Right.
Okay, well, have a good day. Because I never asked that gentleman for anything. All I had done was explain what worked, what I'd taken, and what worked and what didn't work. And that I wasn't ready for surgery. And that's what he came back with. I may get to surgery.
Right.
But can we try other things before we get there?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would memorize that stuff and I would be honest, and I wouldn't walk in and demand meds right off your bat.
Yeah.
But that happens. I think as a pain patient, we have to realize that it's not your job to get me to a zero right away. And don't expect that. Expect help, but don't expect that zero. And be willing to put the work in.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's extremely important to meet the patient where they're at on that first visit, figure out what their goals and expectations are so that we can make sure we're aligned. And then I'm just a fan of options. If it's just like, well, it's either this or that, then and none of those are aligning with your options, then I think not only is the physician missing an opportunity to help that patient, but the patient now, if I were in that position, I would feel coerced and controlled. And as soon as I start feeling that way, I get resistant. And, and then I don't quite trust the doctor because it seems like, well, having been in this position, I know that there's always another option. And you should be willing to present that and offer it. Otherwise, again, why are you earning your medical degree?
Yeah.
It's called think of something else,
Yeah, it really is. And that I just wish more doctors would be open to that.
It's hard to do that. To be fair, you are, burning brain power to do that. And some patients may not be super open to it. And I think from my end of the fence too, like not every patient wants to show up and be earnest and ask questions and be willing to participate or, try different things. Like a lot of patients just show up, no, I don't care what you have to say. Write me a damn script. And that's where it's like, oh, now I'm feeling controlled.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think this conversation is so important because there has to be a middle ground. And I think with it, you can get a lot further by just being open to the different possibilities.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, the patients need to keep in mind the goal is to get better.
Right.
And to yell and demand is not going to get you closer to your goal. It's just not. Just not.
Yeah.
It's my opinion, but I've lived it in the past, so I've experienced, right? But yeah, we have to be better at patients, and we have to be willing to try different things. Opioids are getting harder and harder and harder to get, and that's not getting any better. What else is in your toolkit?
Exactly.
So that's it. That's the first volume of Dr. Dustin and Invisible Greatest Hits. Like I said, over the last 20 minutes, if something wasn't specifically to you, I hope you can see, I hope you can feel what the essence of Invisible No More is. I feel this in every single day, in every fiber of my body. I can promise you, as an invisible, whether you're dealing with mental health struggles or chronic illness or chronic pain, you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, and you're not alone. There are thousands upon thousands upon thousands. I mean, no telling how many invisibles are out there. And for most of our lives, we've fought whatever it is that we're dealing with. And we had these feelings inside that I was the only one. Nobody understands me. Nobody gets me. I promise you with all of my heart, we get you. I may not have walked your shoes with a mental health issue, but I've fought the doctors. I fought the stigmas of an invisible diagnosis or an invisible condition. I've been there when the circle of friends went from big, my ride and dies died off, and only a few remained. I've been there, and so many others have been there when our spouses, our children, our parents don't understand. Invisible No More isn't me. It's not Amy. It's not Jennifer. It's not Kate. It's not Lugnut. It's not Buck. It's not Leslie. It's not Jamie. It's not one person. It's you and this community. Better yet, better said, it's you and this family. Coming up on other volumes of Greatest Hits, we're going to get into more specific things like ACE scores and how doctors just abuse them. Probably do forced tapers, a special edition of the Greatest Hits on forced tapers, because that's been covered in so many videos. And other things. If you have something with your diagnosis that you want to hear about, whether it's fibromyalgia, it's POTS, it's EDS, it's chronic pain, it's balloon disc, it's depression, it's bipolarism, leave it in the comments to this video, and we'll get it done. We'll produce it, because we want you to know you're not alone. One more time, in case you didn't catch it: Invisible No More. Or I promise you, you're seen, you're heard, you're loved, you're not alone. And I really hope after this 20 some odd minute video, some of your issues have been validated as real, because your experience is real. Love you guys. Please be safe. Questions, comments, leave them in the comments to this video. Hit a thumbs up if you liked it, got anything out of it. And if you have something specific, put it there too. We're here for you. Love you guys.